I wanted to talk about something that I think is at the root of why so many women can't lose weight, can't stick to change, can't make themselves do what they know they need to. And it has nothing to do with food, nothing to do with exercise, nothing to do with willpower. It has to do with who you've made your whole life about. For me, it was my son and people pleasing everyone else. I want to be careful here because his story is his to tell. But my story, my part in it, that's mine, and that's the part that I'm going to share. I made him my whole entire existence, not in the way every great mother loves their child, in the way where I had no identity outside of being his mom. No hobbies, no friendships that I truly invested in, no life that was mine. And I told myself that was love. But here's what I've learned: when you make another person your whole world, you're not loving them, you're using them to fill the emptiness you haven't dealt with, using them to avoid the loneliness you're terrified of, using them so you don't have to face the question, who am I when nobody needs me? That's codependency. And it doesn't just hurt you, it hurts them. Because the person you're pouring everything into can't breathe, can't grow, can't become themselves because you need them to be everything, I did that for decades. And while I was doing it, I was also gaining weight, sitting on the couch, not going out, not building a life, telling myself I was fine because at least I had him. My body was shutting down, type 2 diabetic, barely mobile, blood pressure through the roof, and I still couldn't make myself change because changing meant facing the emptiness I've been avoiding for 25 years. Here's what finally shifted. The relationship that I had sacrificed everything for, the one I thought I was holding together by giving everything, fell apart anyway. Not completely, but enough. Enough that I couldn't use it anymore as a reason not to live my own life. And I was left with the thing I'd been running from my whole life: myself. Just me, sitting with the reality that I had spent 25 years disappearing, that I didn't know what I enjoyed anymore, that I was so lonely on weekends I didn't know what to do with myself, that I had bought love my whole life with people, with family, with friends, and it had never made me anyone's first choice. That was the moment everything changed. Not because things got easier, they didn't. Not because the relationships healed overnight, they didn't. But because I finally stopped waiting for other people to change so I could start living. I stopped making my happiness dependent on circumstances I couldn't control. I stopped sacrificing myself for people who weren't asking me to. And I started slowly, imperfectly, uncomfortably choosing myself. Here's what I want you to understand: the loneliness is still there sometimes, the boredom on weekends is still real. I'm still figuring out who I am and what I enjoy after 25 years of not asking that question. But it hits differently now. It doesn't spiral me anymore. It doesn't send me to the couch with food. It doesn't make me disappear because I finally understand what it was about. And understanding it, really understanding it, not just reading about it, changed everything. And here's the connection that most people miss: my body started changing the moment my mind did. Not because I finally found the right diet, not because I finally had enough willpower, but because I stopped using food to manage the emptiness. I stopped sitting on the couch because I finally had a reason to get up. I stopped destroying my body because I finally decided I was worth saving. The 90 pounds, the diabetes reversal, the mobility coming back, none of that happened because I found a better workout program. It happened because I stopped saving everyone else and started saving myself. And if you're watching this and you're recognizing yourself in any way of what I just said, the codependency, the disappearing, the not knowing who you are anymore, the body that's suffering because your mind has been suffering for years, I want you to know the shift is possible. Not easy, not quick, not linear, but possible. That's what care and action is. Not just fitness, not just mindset work, the real specific personal work of understanding why you've been stuck in your body and in your life and actually doing something different. Because you can't out exercise a life you're not living, and you can't heal a mind while your body is shutting down. Both have to change together. That's the work, and it starts with one decision to stop saving everyone else first.